Hi and welcome to ZoomTV, the show
where we explore everything that drives, flies, and of course floats.
I try to do that, but no one does it like the king. On today's program, we're going to try and give you some information and hopefully have some fun along the way. What are you up to today, buddy?
Well, I'm going to be looking at facelifts, a few nips and tucks, but sadly it's not for me.
Can't wait to see that.
In the past, some Mitsubishi suffered a bit from a botched nose job look, but this Outlander is nothing short of stunning, and it definitely brings out the Mitsubishi brand right up into line with its competition.
Now, Roscoe, when it comes to buying a used car, or what's known now as a pre-owned car, well, there's a couple of options, but there's also a lot of risk, isn't there?
There certainly is, and you know, I got burnt pretty badly probably 2 or 3 years ago. You know, you take people by their word, and you know, occasionally people tell a little few fibs along the way. And
you get burned, which is why we're going to tell you why you should be considering only buying a pre-owned or used car off a dealer, because you don't want to get burned, do you, Ross?
Oh.
What are the benefits of buying off a dealership?
From the customer's point of view, you've got one that's not regulated, or dealing with a dealership, you've got a lot of regulation.
Aaron, I'm excited. Today, City Toyota Celebrity Hitchhiker is up.
He is. You're giving it away. Now, if you're a fan of UFC fighting, you're going to love today's City Toyota Celebrity Hitchhiker, Rashad Evans from the UFC. He taught me some moves, Ross. You should see me now. What car do you currently drive?
I drive a Cadillac CTSV. It's a fast Cadillac. I mean, it hauls.
Okay, so we hope you're ready. Are you ready, Ross?
I'm ready.
Okay, it's time
for ZoomTV.
I thought we were going to do it together this time.
Facelifts are funny things on cars. Either you barely notice the changes with the work that's been done, or they change it so much it looks like a brand new car. And I'm not only talking about looks. Now, I never judge a car on its paint job, even though it looks as striking as this. Now, this is the brand new Mitsubishi Outlander diesel, and it's the first in the family of Mitsubishi for an all-important facelift, inside and out. Now let's see if she is as good as she looks. In the past, some Mitsubishi suffered a bit from a botched nose job look, but this Outlander is nothing short of stunning, and it definitely brings the Mitsubishi brand right up into line with its competition. And this particular version is the top of the line Exceed. Soon you'll be looking at a whole new range of cars that look like this. It's called the new face of Mitsubishi. Outlander's brothers and sisters will soon look similar. Now, the new front grille is a completely new design. Mitsubishi call it the Dynamic Shield. And I tell you what, with all the chrome around this vehicle, it's looking pretty flash. LED head and tail lamps, fog lamps, silver roof rails, 18-inch alloys, and a nice solid back end that might remind you of a Range Rover. That's what you'll get on this 2.2 diesel model. So, we know it looks good. Now the question is, how does she drive? Under the bonnet is an economical diesel engine. Produces 110 kilowatts of power and sips a mere 7 litres per 100 kilometres. Overall, a nice package. But it's the transmission where Mitsubishi has done the business. They've retweaked it, and it's light years ahead of the previous model. The petrol model comes with a CVT automatic gearbox, which has been tuned to have a much quicker response time when you put your foot down. This diesel model, however, comes complete with a conventional 6-speed auto, but does have manual shifters down near the gear lever and paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. Inside, the facelift continues. A redesigned steering wheel, a nice, clean, modern dash layout. In fact, it's a giant leap forward from the previous model, a more prestigious feel. And by the way, it's very quiet in here also. That's because things like upgraded insulation and damping, new tyres, insulation windscreen glass, modified suspension mounts, and even a completely redesigned air intake system, which means even on the open road or rough surfaces, you won't notice a thing. John, both you and I over the years have seen things getting made cheaper and cheaper and lasting less and less time. But motor cars have gone the other way, and things are going into them that we've never seen before, especially in the safety department.
Well, look, was it less than maybe, I don't know, 20 years ago, maybe less? You couldn't get seat belts, airbags, what were they? Now look at this. You've got collision mitigation, which means it does its very best to stop you from having an accident, no matter how bad you are as a driver, not you included. You've got high-density headlights. You've got adaptive cruise control. Automatic, it will slow down if you're too close to the car in front. And what about reverse camera and sensors? All of that included. And not only that, a fabulous car and fantastic to drive.
It is. I've just driven it, and it's top of the wazza for me.
Great car.
Yep. Now let's talk technology. As with every newly redesigned car, you get front and rear climate control, 7-inch touchscreen with 3D navigation, Bluetooth, digital radio, and a 6-speaker sound system. Now when it comes to facelifts, Mitsubishi has done all the right nips and tucks to the Outlander. But don't take my word for it. Why not click on to johnhughes.com.au and book in for a test drive? I tell you what, if I could get a facelift like this, I'd be on.
Are you a New Zealander? And now you've designed and built a 7.2 metre aluminium boat that's taking Australia by storm. Oh, you Kiwis. It's the Macleay Boat 690 Cruiser. Challenge Marine is the proud new dealer for Macleay, one of the biggest selling aluminium boat brands in New Zealand. Steve Macleay builds these magnificent boats in a state-of-the-art premises in Milton on the southeast coast of the Shaky Isles. Built to withstand conditions much worse than our own, there's an attention to detail and finish rarely seen in aluminium boats. Today, we're on the beautiful Swan River here in Perth, WA, but the 690 Cruiser is equally at home in white water. The 5mm bottom with an additional 5mm wear strip gives an impressive 10mm of aluminium coming into contact with the water just where you need it. The 690 offers the optional fully enclosed helm that keeps things quiet and secure for the family should things turn rough. Together with this great cabin, there's plenty of deck space to fish up to 4 people in comfort. There's even an electric toilet in the cabin and windscreen wipers with fresh water wash to complete the package. Aluminium means you can have a bigger boat with less towing weight, and that's perfect for chasing your favourite fish north, south, east or west. This new model won the Best Aluminium Fishing Boat 6 to 7 metres and Best Boat in Show at the 2011 New Zealand Boat Show. And since then, orders have flowed thick and fast. Now here's why. This boat has been optioned with the fully enclosed hardtop, electric anchor winch and transom door. With a maximum horsepower rating of 250, this demonstrator sits nicely with the Mercury Verado 200 horsepower. Adam Duncan from Challenge Marine chose to order this boat with this fantastic rear cage. This offers peace of mind with young ones on board and doubles as a great place to fish and cool the feet. The options are endless with this boat, and Challenge Marine welcomes your ideas to put to Macleay. Well, the biggest problem with aluminium, Adam, has been that when we're travelling, there's a lot of noise in the boat. How does the Macleay measure up there?
Really well, Alan. With that extra keel thickness that we've put on the boat and Macleay's amazing hull design, when you're out there in the rough stuff, it really does almost sound like a fiberglass boat. Macleay also welcome those offshore fishermen to have their own ideas about how they want to lay out the boat, and welcome inquiries of that nature.
And what are the specs?
Overall length is 7.2 metres, so true hull is 6.9. It's got a waterline beam of 2.35, carries 200 litres of fuel, and 4mm on the sides and 5mm hull.
The best of the best, Macleay boats, turning aluminium into gold. Check out the 690 Cruiser at Challenge Marine Perth and Mandurah. Go to challengemarine.com.au or follow the links from ZoomTV.com.au.
Now, if you're passionate about anything that flies, drives or floats, there's no better place to feed that passion than attending a live event. Isn't that right?
Exactly. Sitting down watching TV is fantastic, especially if it's Zoom, but when you get to a live event, you can actually get around and smell the roses, you know?
Smell the roses at like a motoring event, Ross.
Well, I'm sure there'll be roses at a motoring event.
You could have said, smell the fumes, feel the Juco.
Smell the leather.
Better.
Okay.
Now, thanks to United Fuel Injection, here's our 3 favourite live events where you can smell the roses.
Sydney Dragways Hot Rod and Custom Expo kicks off an entire weekend of hot rodding, drag racing and show and shine. There'll be dragsters, street rods and hot rods, so come out and see the vehicles of yesteryear running down the quarter mile. It's going to be an action-packed weekend with the swap meet running on Saturday the 8th of August and the drags on Sunday the 9th starting at 9 a.m. Jump on to sydneydragway.com.au for times and prices. Take a trip back to the golden era of motoring and rock and roll with Melbourne's Greasefest. This event is all about the rockabilly lifestyle with incredible custom hot rods, classics, music and fashion, vintage bikes, tattoos and plenty more. It kicks off on Friday the 7th of August right the way through to Sunday the 9th at the Sandown Racecourse, so get down and get involved with this crazy event. To find out more, jump on to greasefest.com.au. And in Queensland, it's time to head out back at Goin' Country 2015. This event is a country cruise starting in Ipswich and heading all the way to Fernvale, taking in all the great sights along the way. Plus getting involved with Hot Wheels racing, delicious tea and damper, and the always popular Pig on the Spit. There's heaps of prizes up for grabs, so get down and take part on Saturday the 8th of August. To get involved, jump on to rodsquad.com.au.
Well, there you have it. Our 3 favourite live events happening all over Australia, courtesy of United Fuel Injection.
The only place to get more talk out of your diesel. Now, if you have a live event coming up, we want to give it a plug, go to our website and all you've got to do is click on the Get Involved tab. Now, it's fair to say that most people believe you'll save money on a car if you buy it privately, which can be true. Well, take for example this 2015 GX Automatic RAV4, which has done a tad over 11,000 kilometres, had one business owner, comes with new car warranty and will cost you just $26,990 from City Toyota. But this RAV4, which has done similar kilometres, it's also a 2015, will cost you $26,000 flat. The owner told us he believes he bought it off the original owner. It's also done mainly city kilometres and he's pretty sure the new car warranty is valid. And he's only selling it because he's going overseas. Or is he? Well, I can tell you that everything that City Toyota says about this RAV4 is true because they're a dealer and they have to stand by everything that they say. If you're in the market for a new car, you pretty much have 2 options. You can buy brand new or you can buy pre-owned, which is a fancy way of saying used car. Obviously, you can only buy a brand new car from a dealer, but if you're looking to buy a used car, then you can go with a dealer or a private sale. They both have their positives, or do they? Now, Wayne, when it comes to buying a pre-owned car, what are the benefits of buying off a dealership?
From the customer's point of view, you've got one that's not regulated, or dealing with a dealership, you've got a lot of regulation. We're governed by the Motor Trade Association, Department of Commerce, and ultimately our manufacturer as well. Buying from a dealer guarantees you clear title, so when you purchase the vehicle, we can assure that there's no encumbrances from finance companies or anything like that, so you're guaranteed that the car that you own and that you've purchased is yours. So there's a lot of protection for the customer to transact with a dealership.
Now, the first one makes sense to me, Wayne, because obviously all businesses out there would be aware there are rules and regulations they have to adhere to operate. But the second one, the Motor Trade Association, how do they influence what you do day to day?
So it's like we've got another layer. So we have the Motor Trade Association regulating our dealership, and that's obtained through a dealer licence. But not only that, we have actually a sales licence and also a service licence, and then the dealership has an overall licence to operate and trade. So we want to ensure that every transaction is to the customer's satisfaction and that they're happy so that we can get that repeat and retention of business.
Which tells me the buyer dealing with a dealership is going to have, well, a better experience.
Then Toyota actually independently survey that. So it's a customer satisfaction index that they do independently on every transaction with the dealership. We're a 5-star service dealer and a 5-star sales dealer from inception. So ultimately we're trying to look after our customers.
Now, Wayne, you've been involved in the industry for a long time.
That's right, close to 24 years now, Aaron.
Okay, so in that time, what changes do you think have made the biggest impact to the industry?
I think as an industry, the internet and how that's evolved and how that will integrate with our business has probably been the biggest change that we've seen. So no longer do you have to try and go from yard to yard to yard to actually look at a range of vehicles. You can now surf the net, as they say, and look at all different cars and scrutinise those comparisons. The danger you've got out there with a private vehicle, Aaron, is that there's a lot of ghost cars or fake cars out there on the internet that are there to lure your money away, and a transaction obviously that we know will never happen. The benefit you get obviously with dealing with a dealership is that the vehicles are real, and when you deposit your money with us, that's not going to disappear.
It's clear to me that what people do get when they deal with the dealership, and especially City Toyota, is peace of mind.
A franchise actually gives you that guarantee of a transaction and a dealership that will back its product. But not only that, you actually get access to a range of options. So Toyota has its own motor insurance, its own finance facilities, its own extended warranty options, and also we have Toyota certified used vehicles.
So Dean, I've just caught up with Wayne and he's told me the benefits of dealing with a dealership over buying privately. This particular car we're in is one of the cars that you retail. It actually looks like a brand new car.
Yeah, well, we, particularly on the vehicles that we do stock at City Toyota, we make sure that all of our vehicles go through our workshop. We do a full 110-point service and safety check on every one of them. We're obviously not going to let one car go out of our dealership with our reputation on the line. So,
well, it kind of makes sense that you're not going to sell a car that's going to be coming back and causing you problems.
Absolutely.
A car that you choose to sell is a pre-owned car. Where do you get the stock from?
Generally, it's either traded through our new car department or through our used car department. We have a buyer that buys regularly out of the Toyota auctions, so a lot of new factory demos that we buy, and obviously tenders through fleet departments that we pick up the occasional vehicle. Once again, all of the cars will go through that strategic 110-point service and safety check before we even put it onto the dealership.
And I suppose that's something that you really see at City Toyota. There's a lot of pride in what people do.
We've built a real family-run business. Obviously, Wayne Smith being at the helm, being a real true family man. He's installed that into our business from get-go. We've got a very, very good reputation, and we've got an excellent sales team that have been together for a long time. And even our admin, they do wonders in the background. And obviously our service department, they all should be patted on the back. But we treat everyone like we treat our own family.
Someone said to me, it's not the problem, it's how you address and fix the problem that you should judge a company or a person on.
And that someone would have been our dealer principal, Wayne Smith.
It actually was.
He's always drummed that into me, that if there's ever a problem, you fix it, 100%.
To find out more, head to citytoyota.net.au or follow the links from ZoomTV. Welcome back to ZoomTV. Now it is time for the Celebrity Hitchhiker. Today, I'm not hitchhiking or picking anyone up. I'm actually meeting someone in a store today. I'm with Rashad Evans, Sugar Rashad Evans from the UFC. Now, you're a professional ultimate fighter. What an incredible sport to be a part of.
Yeah, it is. You know, the growth of the whole sport has been kind of crazy within the last few years. You know, I started fighting in the UFC about 8-9 years ago. It seemed like time just flew by so fast, but when I first started fighting, it wasn't nowhere near where it was at. You know, when I was fighting, first starting off, my first fight was in a bingo hall and people smoking cigarettes. It was like in this little small town in Indiana. Yeah. So it's just so crazy to see how far it came to, you know, from where it is right now.
What do you think has made it so popular and escalate so quick?
I think one thing that made it so popular is the fact that it's a fan-friendly sport. And another thing that makes it so popular is the fact that the fighters, the access to the fighters, you know, they make sure that we're always out there and we stay close contact with our fans.
Okay. And the other thing I suppose that I've noticed is that it's a very different fighting style to boxing. There's almost wrestling and karate and all these other things that come into it.
Yeah, you know, that's one thing that makes the sport that much more interesting is the fact that there's all these different disciplines, and, you know, you see one fighter goes in between in and out of different disciplines, you know, between going from punching and striking to doing a takedown, and then from doing a takedown to doing his jiu-jitsu and a submission. So that's kind of the beautiful part of the sport to watch, the art of it all, you know, and that's one thing that has also aided to it being so popular, is the fact that it can end any way.
Okay, now it's time for the Fast Five. What was the first car you ever owned?
It was a Ford Probe.
Really?
Yeah.
Ford Probes weren't popular in Australia.
See why? I can imagine why. It was not like a good car.
Okay, so what would be your opinion of the worst car ever made?
The worst car ever
Be worst looking, worst to drive, worst performing.
What is it? The Renault? What is it?
The Renault.
Yeah.
Any of them car you're saying?
Yeah.
What is your opinion of the best car ever? And it could be an old car, it could be a new car.
The best car? I like muscle cars, man. Like a 67 Mustang, one of those.
And what car do you currently drive?
I drive a Cadillac CTSV.
That's a huge car. It's a big car.
No, it's a fast Cadillac. I mean, it hauls.
Okay. Now, I might come into your mind when I ask the next question.
Okay.
Okay, but we'll just move on. What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear? Man, not fighting well in a fight.
Oh, wow. There you go. Has it ever happened?
Hell yeah, it happened.
Sometimes in an interview, you have to prepare.
Yeah, I mean, it has happened before, you know. There's fights where I showed up and I was just like, what? What was that?
Now, mate, we have to let you go, okay? If you want to be like this, you're going to have to hit the pavement. Yeah.
Okay.
Eat well. And, of course, train at least once a year, okay?
Once a year.
That's the secret to this. Now, I think I'd love to do this. If you
Face
can,
off?
Face off. But you can't hit me because you got hit. Now, we're almost done, but before we go, a big thank you to Rashad Evans for teaching me the moves, Ross. I am now a lethal weapon.
A rusty lethal weapon.
Whatever. Now, if you've got an event coming up, we'd love to give it a plug. All you've got to do is go to the website, zoomtv.com.au, click on the Get Involved tab, tell us about the event, upload some pictures and videos, we'll give it a plug.
And we might even come along.
And if you, there's a point. If you could do with a 5-time world champion and a lethal weapon at your event, just invite us.
Not really world champion, but close.
Rusty world champion.
So,
Fair call, isn't it? He can dish it out, can't take it. Now, don't forget, whatever you do this weekend at Zooms, make sure...
You do it safely.
Okay, you want to walk safely with a rusty weapon?
Come with me and I'll show you a move or two.
What is that? And that's a wrap.